I stared out the kitchen window, the glass foggy from the boiling water on the stove. The sun dipped beneath the horizon, splashing warm hues of orange and pink across the sky. Another day was ending, and with it came the same hollow feeling that had been growing inside me for months. My hands trembled slightly as I gripped the edge of the sink, trying to steady myself. I knew tonight I had to say something. I couldn't keep this to myself anymore. My husband, Matthew, was due home any minute. We had been married for 7 years, and in that time, we had built a good life together. A cozy home in the suburbs of Minnesota, stable jobs, and a routine that was safe and predictable. Too predictable. I loved Matthew, but somewhere along the way, things had become mechanical. Comfortable, yes, but empty. The spark we once had was buried beneath a mountain of grocery lists, laundry, and quiet dinners eaten in silence. When I heard his truck pull into the driveway, I took a deep breath and wiped my hands on a towel. Matthew walked in, his face tired from the day. He smiled at me, setting his keys in the bowl by the door. "Hey babe," he said, walking over to kiss me on the forehead. "Smells good. What's for dinner?" "Just spaghetti tonight," I said, trying to smile. "Can we talk after dinner?" He looked at me for a moment, concern flashing in his eyes. "Yeah, sure. Everything okay?" I nodded, not trusting myself to speak just yet. Dinner was quiet, as it usually was. Matthew scrolled through his phone while I twirled spaghetti around my fork. I kept glancing up at him, trying to find the right words. After we cleared the dishes, I asked him to sit with me on the couch. He sank into the cushion, still in his work boots, and looked at me expectantly. "What's going on, Erin?" I took a deep breath, my heart racing. "Matt, I need more." His brow furrowed. "More of what?" "More from us. More connection. More affection. I feel like we're just roommates who happen to share a bed." He blinked, clearly caught off guard. "You think I don't love you?" "I didn't say that," I said gently. "I know you love me. But love isn't just saying, 'I love you,' before bed. It's how we show up for each other. I miss feeling wanted. I miss being seen." Matthew looked down at his hands. He was quiet for a long time before finally saying, "I didn't know you felt this way. I guess I thought everything was fine." "I tried to tell you," I said, my voice soft. "But maybe I didn't say it clearly enough. I need more than just existing in the same space." His eyes met mine, searching. "Are you saying you're not happy with me?" "I'm saying I'm not happy with us," I clarified. "I want us to be better. I want to fight for this. But I can't do it alone." He sat back, processing. I could tell he was hurt, but I also saw something shift in his expression. Understanding, maybe even guilt. "I guess I have been distant," he admitted. "Work's been a lot, and I just assumed we were okay because you didn't say otherwise. But that's on me. I should have paid more attention." I nodded, grateful he wasn't brushing it off. We used to talk about everything. Now, we barely talk at all. I miss the version of us who stayed up late laughing in bed, who went on spontaneous road trips, who touched without needing a reason. Matthew reached for my hand. I miss that too. That night, we didn't fix everything. But we sat together, close, and talked until we were both too tired to speak. It was a beginning. Over the next few weeks, things started to shift. Slowly. Matthew began taking more initiative. He planned a date night at the small Italian place downtown where we had our second anniversary. He put down his phone more often when we were together, and I tried to be more open with how I felt. We weren't perfect, but we were making the effort. But not everything was easy. One Saturday morning, I found myself crying in the shower, overwhelmed by the fear that we were only patching the cracks instead of fixing the foundation. When I came out, Matthew was sitting on the edge of the bed, waiting. "Are you okay?" he asked, eyes full of worry. "I don't know," I whispered. "Some days I feel hopeful. Other days I feel like we're pretending." He pulled me into a hug, holding me tightly. Then let's stop pretending. Tell me what you need, Erin. I'm here. I told him I wanted us to go to counseling. That I wanted help navigating the parts of us that had grown apart. At first, he was hesitant. He didn't like the idea of talking to a stranger about our problems. But eventually, he agreed. Therapy opened our eyes in ways we hadn't expected. We learned how to communicate without assuming the worst. How to listen with patience instead of defensiveness. I realized I had been bottling up my feelings for so long that when they finally poured out, they felt like accusations instead of confessions. Matthew learned that being physically present wasn't the same as being emotionally available. He started asking me how my day was and really listening. He started leaving me little notes, simple things like, "I miss your smile," or "thinking of you." They meant more than flowers or grand gestures ever could. One night, we lay in bed, facing each other. The room was quiet except for the hum of the fan. Matthew brushed a strand of hair from my cheek. "Do you still need more?" he asked gently. I smiled, tears in my eyes. "I think I always will. And that's okay. Because now I know you're willing to grow with me." He leaned in and kissed me, slow and tender. "Then we'll keep growing. Together." Months passed. Our relationship still had its ups and downs, but now there was a willingness from both of us to show up, even on the hard days. We started cooking meals together instead of me doing it alone. We went for walks in the evening, no phones, just hands clasped and small conversations. We rediscovered the joy of being each other's best friend. One rainy Sunday afternoon, we curled up on the couch with old photo albums. We laughed at our terrible fashion choices and the awkward poses from our wedding day. And then Matthew looked at me and said something that stayed with me forever. I didn't realize how much I needed more too. I just didn't know how to ask. That was the moment I truly understood. It wasn't just me. Relationships weren't about one person needing more. It was about both people recognizing the gaps and choosing, every single day, to bridge them. To be better. To try, even when it's uncomfortable. I told my husband I needed more, and instead of walking away, he reached for me. Not all love stories are grand or dramatic. Sometimes, the greatest kind of love is the quiet one, where both people simply refuse to give up. And that's what Matthew and I became. A quiet love that grew louder, stronger, and more alive with every honest word, every held hand, and every choice to keep going.